Vereen on the occasion of his promotion to Major General. The host for today's ceremony is General Dennis Myer, United States Army, retired. Please stand for the arrival of the official party and remain standing for the invocation, which will be given by General Vereen's brother, Dr. Keith Vereen, who is the pastor of Providence Baptist Church in Kernersville, North Carolina.
Let us pray. Father, we would be remiss to give you all the honor in this occasion today. Lord, we just thank you for all that you've done. Lord, we thank you for how you've blessed Kevin, how he's been a light to his family, his community, and also to the United States Army. So Lord, we ask you to continue to strive with him as he steps into an additional role of leadership of some of the greatest women and men in the United States Army. This is our prayer. In the name of Jesus, let the redeemed of the Lord say amen. Amen.
Please be seated. Dr. Vereen, thank you for those inspiring words. On behalf of General Vi, I would like to take this opportunity to welcome our distinguished guests, fellow soldiers, civilians, friends, and most significantly, the Vereen family, here today for the promotion ceremony of Brigadier General Kevin Vereen. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming our host, General Dennis Myer.
Good afternoon, everyone. I had to use my old command voice. I still have it. Well, I know it's warm and we've got more ceremonies to come, so I won't be long before you. But I want to thank all of you for taking time out of your busy schedules to be here today for Kevin and Monica and the Vereen family for this very, very special occasion, for braving the 395 traffic and coming through the gates here just a moment ago. I just want you to know in about an hour or so, Kevin is going to be responsible for all those gates on every military base. So if you have any issues or concern, get them out before he takes over. What a great day to be a soldier. What a great day to be a retired soldier. It's a great day for our Army. It's a great day for the Military Police Corps. It's a great day for the Criminal Investigative Command. And it's a great day for the Vereen family. It's also a great day for me personally, because I have the honor and the privilege of promoting a great soldier and a tremendous and gifted Army leader. Kevin and Monica, thank you for this privilege of presiding at your ceremony today. I want to also thank you for pulling me out of retirement and allowing me to participate in an event which always gave me so much joy when I served on active duty, and that was promotion ceremonies. It also allows me an opportunity to step away from my sweetheart Linda's honey-do list. You know, the honey-do list is like the old OER support form. Every time I line out at our quarterly counselings, I line out, and Linda adds more to the bottom of that list. It's never ending. It also gives me a break from Home Depot, which is a very dangerous place for a retired general to be. Because when they say you can do this, you believe that you can. I've got a garage full of all kind of tools and equipment on projects I've started. And Linda, after she allows me to work at it for a little while, she says, honey, why don't you revert back to being a general and let somebody else do the work? But especially for the Vereen family, his wife Monica, 4 years, whom Linda and I've known for a long, long time. In fact, Monica was Linda's line sister with Delta Sigma Theta 22 years ago. How small the world. Their children, Cheryl, the daughter, sons Kendall, Kevin, who's a private first class at Fort Carson. We've got to have you stand because with your dad's promotion, Dad's promotion to Major General today, you all have the whole span of rank control already there. To his sons, Kendall and Kirkland, It's great to have all of you here today. And I know although your father's not here, Vietnam veteran, I know he is smiling down on you today, Kevin, and especially the Vereen family and all that you've accomplished. I know this is a great, great day. I also want to recognize Kevin's mom, Miss Lee Vereen. Ma'am, thank you for being here today. If it weren't for you, we wouldn't have Kevin. So please join me in a round of applause for Kevin's mother. Also, Miss Norma Campbell, Monica's mother, his brothers and Army veterans, John and Keith, and two very special family members. I'm not certain they're able to make it today, but Cannon and Gregory. I want to recognize them. And of course, this extended family from Fayetteville, uncles, aunts, in-laws, cousins, and close friends, all who've come today to witness this ceremony, witness history today, and be a part of it. It is your attendance that makes these types of events very, very special. The presence of so many senior leaders, family members, and close lifelong friends is a true testament to the kind of soldier, the kind of friend, the kind of leader we are promoting the Major General today. So please join me in a round of applause for this entire Vereen family that are here. To all of our distinguished guests, too many to name, but I saw Secretary Williams. Thank you for being here. General Pyatt, the Director of the Army Staff, a number of Lieutenant Generals across the board who've all been here and had some role, I'm certain, in Kevin's grooming over the years. Members of the Senior Executive Service, Command Sergeant Majors, soldiers, civilians, families, all of you, thanks for being here. And a special thanks to the protocol staff, and especially Miss Jennifer Gray. I think Jennifer is standing over here. I want to thank Jennifer because I don't have an aide and an XO anymore. And Linda says she's not going to be my aide. So I've leaned on Jennifer very much. So thank you so much for helping out and putting together all that's involved with the ceremony of this. Now, I don't have to tell all of you what a big deal it is for promotion to Major General. Of the more than 82,000 officers serving in our Army, only 120 or so are Major Generals. In fact, only 1/2% of all commissioned officers are promoted to the rank of Major General and above. I just want you to think about that. And in the Military Police Corps, which we only select the Army about one colonel each year for promotion to Brigadier General. Just think of the odds that Kevin had to overcome to be able to be at this point in his career today. The odds of being struck by lightning are greater than Kevin being promoted to Major General today. So why did our Army decide to promote Brigadier General Kevin Vereen? Well, it takes far more than the time I have available this afternoon to detail his 30-plus year career and his service to our Army. So I won't bore you with that. I'll let you look at the program and go through. But I do want to highlight a few of his professional accomplishments, the personal character, and this incredible general officer. First and foremost, he comes from a very large and patriotic military family in Fayetteville. He was born at Fort Bragg. For those of us, that's the center of the Army universe. His father, again, as I mentioned, a Special Forces Vietnam veteran. Also, his brothers served and retired. He's got uncles and a long line of cousins, and that's continuing on with his son, Kevin. As you can read in his bio, he's had an extraordinary career, serving at multiple levels of leadership and command assignments from captain to brigadier general. Receiving his commission from Campbell University in North Carolina, Kevin only planned to serve 3 years. We've all heard that story before. He just added another 3 to it. And like many of us, he enjoyed the challenges, but also the privilege of leading and serving with soldiers and families and making an impact and a difference in their lives. That's why he's here today. He's also held critical command and staff assignments from the tactical to the strategic levels. including the Deputy Commanding General of the U.S. Army Recruiting Command, Assistant Chief of Staff G3 at Forces Command, the Executive Officer to the Commanding General of Forces Command, and of course he commanded the 14th Military Police Brigade. He also had a deployment to Operation Iraqi Freedom. Kevin had his impressive record of achievement in every position, served and has established a reputation for excellence across our Army. I cannot think of a more qualified leader to be our Army's senior law enforcement officer. As Provost Marshal General, the first African American to hold this post when he's promoted today. And to assume command of the Department of Defense and our Army's largest criminal investigative organization. Kevin has a favorite quote from General Colin Powell he lives by, which says, "Leadership is solving problems. The day soldiers stop bringing you their problems is the day you've stopped leading them. Either case is a failure of leadership." Kevin Vereen is exactly the right leader at the right time to help our Army address future challenges and take advantage of future opportunities in the coming years. General Vereen, Kevin, you have always performed extremely well. Regardless of how difficult the mission or the task, time spent away from family and loved ones, while always maintaining focus on taking care of your soldiers, taking care of our civilians, taking care of their families. And that's why I'm so very honored and extremely proud on behalf of our United States Army to promote you to the rank of Major General. And although Kevin family knows, most of you do not know that Kevin is a twin. Dr. Keith, who was just here, is his twin. And so that one star that Kevin has been wearing here for the last couple of years has been a little lonely, because he's used to having something else right there beside it. And so Kevin, if you and Monica are ready, we'll get on with promoting this outstanding officer and adding a twin star to what he wears today. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being here. Kevin, you gonna stay in the middle? You get in the middle? Okay. Monica, get on his other side. Okay, I'm gonna take his rank off, and then Monica's gonna come on. Okay. All right, you ready? Come on around. Come to this side. Come to this side. Come on in front. All right, just stay right there.
The President of the United States has reposed special trust and confidence in the patriotism, valor, fidelity, and abilities of Kevin Vereen. In view of these qualities and his demonstrated potential for increased responsibility, he is therefore promoted in the United States Army from Brigadier General to Major General, effective 3 June 2019, by order of the Secretary of the Army.
Yes, okay.
General Myer will now present the certificate of promotion to Major General Vereen.
Okay. Again, Kevin, we're so very proud of you. This is very, very special. Come on in, Mark. Okay. Good. Thank you.
At this time, General Myer will administer the oath of office to Major General Vereen.
Raise your right hand. I state your full name.
I, Kevin Vereen,
Have been appointed an officer in the Army of the United States.
have been appointed an officer in the Army of the United States
In the grade of Major General.
in the grade of Major General.
Do solemnly swear
Do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United
the
States
Constitution of the United States
against all enemies,
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
foreign and domestic,
bear true faith
bear true faith
and allegiance to the
and
same,
allegiance to the same.
and I take this obligation freely
I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion.
or purpose of evasion.
That I will well and faithfully
I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
of the office
of the office
I'm about to enter.
I'm about to enter.
So help me
So
God.
help me God.
Congratulations, General.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Major General Kevin Vereen.
I'm actually going to take this headgear off. I mean, it's actually really warm. Okay, all right. So, and I'll be quick. I'm sorry. Okay. Sorry. We'll do the flag. Oh. All right.
Thank you very much, General Vi. Major General Vereen and Provost Sergeant Major Orbis, assisted by PFC Kevin Vereen, General Vereen's son, will now encase the two-star General Officer flag. Throughout the history of warfare, a general officer's personal flag has symbolized leadership on the battlefield. The flag's distinct colors and the arrangement of stars represent the general's branch of service and rank. Customs and courtesies dictate that this personal flag will be present at all military functions and be visibly displayed in the office of the general officer at all official functions. Ladies and gentlemen, it is now my distinct honor to introduce Major General Kevin Vereen.
All right. Hey. All right, so I'm here now. Hey, and yesterday I told him, I said, hey, look, if somebody messes up, nobody will know. It'll just be transparent. And guess what? Jennifer's over there like, oh, God. All right, we got the flag unfolded. Okay, we're good. All right, I'm so ready to get to business and get to work, so seriously, I kind of, the flag's kind of second stance, but. Hey, so first of all, I do want to give honor to God. I think, for without Him, none of this will be possible. I am just a country boy from North Carolina who just wanted to be like my dad and wear the Army uniform. Never thinking that it would lead me to where I am today. So I'm so thankful that God keeps blessing my family despite all that we have been through. So I want to thank you, General Vi, sir, for taking the time out to promote me today. I know your schedule is extremely busy, and when I called, I said you didn't hesitate, but you kind of delayed a little bit. And I said, "Hey, sir, can you promote me?" He was like, "But, sir, I knew you would do it. You're just an awesome leader. You're truly a tremendous leader, whom all of us in uniform, and even those who are currently retired, have watched and admired for decades." All the service you've done for the Army and for our country. So we really appreciate it. To my family, my wife, Monica, my biggest fan, and my teammate, thank you for standing by my side. You are amazing, and I love you. To my children, I love you all so very much. I'm so proud of each one of you. And yes, they all have their own gig. All college graduates, except for Kirkland, who is working on his right now. So no pressure, Kirkland, you got a lot of work. To my brothers, Keith and John, my mother-in-law, Miss Norma, my father-in-law, Mr. Smokes, who has served as my dad since about 2003, when I lost my dad. So thank you for always supporting me and being here for me. And to the rest of my family who are in attendance today, I thank you for sharing this special event for my family today. I have not forgotten my mom. Her name is Lee, but we call her General Lee. She is truly the matriarch of our family.
I'm so honored my mom could be here today to witness this ceremony. My mom is remarkable, and I'm so grateful to have you here today. It takes a lot to get her out of Fayetteville, so I leave that to my oldest brother to handle, and he gets her back and forth. And so I appreciate what my brother does. To my high school classmates, where you are, where you at, high school. Donnie Thomas, I got some that actually went to high school with me, or my high school classmates who traveled. Well, if you went to my high school, you're still kind of social. Who traveled all, from across the parts of the United States to be here today. I really appreciate it. We go a long way back. I probably never thought I'd see this day, but I stand before you in this uniform. To my fraternity brothers, Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated, I do want to thank you for being here today. We do a lot for the community. Some people don't see it, but we do a lot for the community. Not only our fraternity, but all the rest of our fraternity and sorority. So I really thank you all for what you all do and supporting me and my family here today. To my first company command experience, 1993. 26 years ago, I had two fellow commanders side by side with me. First company command, and we thought we ran Fort Carson. And those two are Cedric Campbell and Kevin Moffitt. I don't know where they're at. Raise your hand. Yeah, they're right there. We ran Fort Carson. So that's our claim to fame. Everything was safe with us. I owe this promotion to all our soldiers, my non-commissioned officers that I have served with for over all these years. I am fortunate to have served with some fantastic leaders. But the center of our Army is our non-commissioned officer corps, who has made a commitment in his creed that officers will have maximum time to do their job. They will not have to do mine. So to the backbone of the Army, I thank you. You have allowed me to focus on my job while you have done your utmost to ensure that you upheld yours. Special thanks to Jennifer, Ms. Gray, and the team for all their hard work and all the things that they've done to make this event so special for my family and me. I do want to thank every single one of you all for coming today. My fellow comrades who worn a uniform with me in the MP Corps and those who are in the other parts of the Army, thank you for being with my family today for this very, very special ceremony. We have another ceremony, so let's get to it because I'm ready. Thank you. All right, that's it. I'm done?
Yes, sir. Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's ceremony. Thank you for being part of this special event.
All right, good. All right.
Anything out of it?
No. All right, good job. Sir, I gave about...
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Please take your seats. The ceremony will begin in 2 minutes. Please place all cell phones on silent or vibrate so as not to interrupt the ceremony. Unless stated, please remain seated throughout the ceremony. Today's ceremony is considered an outdoor ceremony, and headgear is to be worn by all military personnel. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Change of Command ceremony for the United States Army Criminal Investigation Command between Major General David Glaser and Major General Kevin Vereen, and the swearing-in ceremony for the Provost Marshal General of the Army. At this time, we would like to extend a sincere welcome to the distinguished guests, general officers, and senior executives from the Army staff, fellow Department of Defense investigative organizations, and leaders from law enforcement agencies in the National Capital Region. The Change of Command ceremony is a time to honor the proud heritage of our armed forces. It symbolizes the formal transfer of total responsibility, authority, and accountability from one commander to another. The commanders, chief warrant officers, command sergeants major, and first sergeants on the field today are representing their units while their soldiers continue to perform their felony investigative and military police missions back at their home stations and at deployed locations around the world. The following units, from left to right, are participating in today's ceremony. The United States Army Band, Pershing Zone, conducted by Major Dae Kim and led by Drum Major Julian Ayers. The 6th Military Police Group, commanded by Colonel Kevin Hanrahan, Chief Warrant Officer 5 Keith McCullen, and Command Sergeant Major Scott Painter. The 11th Military Police Battalion, commanded by Lieutenant Colonel Christopher Rivers, Chief Warrant Officer 5 Damon Phelps, and First Sergeant James Miller. The 19th Military Police Battalion, commanded by Lieutenant Colonel Frank Dennis, Chief Warrant Officer 5 Aaron Miller, and First Sergeant Michael Ringman. The 22nd Military Police Battalion, commanded by Lieutenant Colonel Melissa Cantwell, Chief Warrant Officer 5 Unsil Lee, and First Sergeant Anthony Christensen. The 3rd Military Police Group, commanded by Colonel Darcy Overby, Chief Warrant Officer 5 Mark Arnold, and Command Sergeant Major Jeffrey Baker. The 5th Military Police Battalion, commanded by Lieutenant Colonel Jesse Brewster, Chief Warrant Officer 5 Veronica Ferrer, and First Sergeant Andrew Phillips. The 10th Military Police Battalion, commanded by Lieutenant Colonel Brian Bettis, Chief Warrant Officer 5 Anderson Wagner, and First Sergeant Elvis Rodriguez. The 502nd Military Police Battalion, commanded by Lieutenant Colonel Richard Stearns, Chief Warrant Officer 5 Patrick Jones, and First Sergeant Nick Brown. The Fort Benning CID Battalion, commanded by Lieutenant Colonel Joshua McCulley, Chief Warrant Officer 5 Martin Eves, and First Sergeant Lyrica Strong. The Washington CID Battalion, commanded by Lieutenant Colonel Norman Pollock, Chief Warrant Officer 5 Matthew Rayburn, and First Sergeant Jesus Goitia. The Color Guard is provided by the 289th Military Police Company, 3rd United States Infantry Regiment, the Old Guard, Military District of Washington, and is led by Command Sergeant Major Brian Flom, Command Sergeant Major for both the United States Army Criminal Investigation Command and Army Corrections Command. The 701st Military Police Group, commanded by Colonel Kurt Boston and Command Sergeant Major Jason Copeland. The Protective Services Battalion, commanded by Lieutenant Colonel Jason Sama, Chief Warrant Officer 4 Gary McBride, and Master Sergeant Carla Sandifer. The 15th Military Police Brigade, commanded by Colonel Caroline Horton and Command Sergeant Major William Ramsey. The 289th Military Police Company, 3rd United States Infantry Regiment, the Old Guard, commanded by Captain Jason Nettler and First Sergeant Patrick Bowser. The 289th Military Police Company is representing all the military police units worldwide, performing law enforcement missions in peace and conflict. The 947th Military Police Detachment, Military Working Dog, represented by Private First Class Rebecca Anderson and Military Working Dog Boss. The United States Army Old Guard Fife and Drum Corps, led by Drum Major Ryan Mullins. The host for today's ceremony is the Vice Chief of Staff of the Army, General James McConville. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the invocation by Chaplain Major Drew Turner.
Please join me as I pray. Gracious Lord and God, we call upon your presence with deep gratitude on behalf of the criminal investigation community. We give you thanks for the leadership of Major General David Glaser. Thank you for the dedication and caring he has shown as Commanding General of the Criminal Investigation Command and Provost Marshal General of the Army. Major General Glaser's leadership will continue to impact our formation even in his absence. We ask that you keep your hand of grace upon him, Susan, Callie, Abigail, Luke, and Caleb. Remind them often their steps are ordered by your holy hand. Thank you for their service and sacrifice. Ever watchful God, we now lift up to you a new Commanding General of the Criminal Investigation Command, Major General Kevin Vereen. We welcome him and his family. Bestow abundant blessings upon Major General Vereen, his wife Monica, and their children Sherelle, Kevin, Kendall, and Kirkland, as he accepts the responsibility to lead and shepherd this command. Grant to him wisdom, strength, and compassion. May his time as Provost Marshal General of the Army be in keeping with the legacy and history of this respected command. All of these petitions we ask in your holy name. Amen.
Please be seated. Biographies for Major General Glaser and Major General Vereen may be found in your program. Ladies and gentlemen, please direct your attention to the seating areas. In keeping with the tradition of recognizing the contributions and sacrifices made by the military families, Specialist Nicholas Green, representing the soldiers of the regiment, is presenting gifts to Major General Glaser's family as a token of appreciation for their steadfast support during his tenure as the Commanding General. Chief Warrant Officer 4 Jacob Calvillo, representing the CID Warrant Officer Corps, is presenting Miss Lee Vereen, Major General Vereen's mother, and mother-in-law Miss Norma Campbell, bouquets of yellow roses. In lieu of a gift to his wife, the Vereens are making a donation to the Lupus Foundation. At this time, the Adjutant, Colonel Keisha Douglas, will form the units and begin the change of command ceremony as she directs the band to sound attention. The call to sound attention is taken from the British call to alarm, at which the troops would turn out under arms. The tradition is said to have originated during the era of Napoleon. Ladies and gentlemen, the commander of troops is now moving forward to receive command of the formation. The commander of troops for today's ceremony is Brigadier General Dwayne Miller, Deputy Commanding General for the United States Army Criminal Investigation Command and Commanding Officer of Army Corrections Command. He is accompanied by the headquarters staff, Colonel Keisha Douglas, G1, Colonel Michael Self, G2, Colonel Terry Neihart, G3, and Lieutenant Colonel Andres Vasquez, G4. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the arrival of the official party and remain standing for honors. General McConville has deferred honors to Major General Glaser. Please be seated.
Order! Form! Parade! Ready! Sound off!
At this time, Major General Glaser and Major General Vereen will move forward to inspect the troops. During days past, trooping the line enabled the soldiers to physically identify their leader and allowed the commander to observe and evaluate the soldiers and equipment, and to judge for themselves their capability to successfully engage in battle. Major General Glaser is not only making his final inspection of the troops prior to passing command to Major General Vereen, he is also expressing gratitude for the truly outstanding job they have done in keeping with the highest tradition of military service. From ancient times, armies throughout the world have conducted ceremonies to commemorate victories over enemies, to honor comrades in arms, and to celebrate special occasions. These ceremonies have added color and pageantry to military life, while preserving tradition and stimulating esprit de corps. Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the advancing of the colors and the playing of the United States national anthem.
Colors, center, march!
Please be seated. The Change of Command ceremony is a simple and traditional event that is rich with symbolism and heritage. The key to the change of command is the passing of the command's colors. These colors represent not only the heritage and history of the organization, but also the unity and loyalty of its soldiers. The colors are the commander's symbol of authority, representing his responsibility to the command. Wherever the commander is, there also are the colors. The custodian of the colors is the command sergeant major. As the senior enlisted soldier in the command sergeant major is the spokesperson for the loyalty and concerns of the soldiers, and a principal advisor to the commander. With this transfer, the unit legacy is passed as a building block for further performance and achievements. Historically, these colors served as the point around which the soldiers of the organization rallied as they moved forward in battle. The colors of the organization have traditionally been at the side of the commander and were carried forward even if the commander fell in combat. All others in the organization might perish, but the colors live on forever. And so with the transfer of the colors goes the transfer of the responsibility for the accomplishment of the mission and the welfare of the soldiers. Major General Glaser, who held these responsibilities for the past 25 months, will now relinquish them. General McConville will charge Major General Vereen with these responsibilities. Command Sergeant Major Flom passes the colors to Major General Glaser, symbolic of the support the NCO Corps gives the commander. As his last official act as the Commanding General of the United States Army Criminal Investigation Command, Major General Glaser relinquishes the colors to General McConville. General McConville passes the colors and all they represent to Major General Vereen, who now assumes command of the United States Army Criminal Investigation Command. By authority of paragraph 2-5A, Army Regulation 600-20, the undersigned assumes command of the United States Army Criminal Investigation Command, effective 24 June 2019. Signed, Major General Kevin Vereen. Major General Vereen returns the colors to Command Sergeant Major Flom, indicative of the trust and confidence the commander places in the NCO Corps. Command Sergeant Major Flom returns the colors to the color bearer, the enlisted soldier who exemplifies the highest standards of discipline, conduct, and military expertise that merit the responsibility of bearing the colors that represent so much to fellow soldiers. Major General Glaser and Major General Vereen exchange positions as they return to the reviewing stand, symbolic of the change of command. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, General McConville will swear in Major General Vereen as the Provost Marshal General of the Army. The office of the Provost Marshal General was created by and reports directly to the Secretary of the Army and the Chief of Staff of the Army. The Provost Marshal General provides executive oversight of resources and leads and directs policy relating to Army law enforcement, police intelligence, physical security and anti-terrorism, corrections and detention, criminal investigations, Provost Marshal activities, and military police support throughout the full range of military operations. The oath of office will be given by General McConville, installing Major General Vereen as the Provost Marshal General of the United States Army and the Army's Executive Manager for Forensics.
Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Kevin Vereen,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
against all enemies,
against all enemies,
foreign and domestic,
foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the same,
to the same,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully
and that I will well and faithfully
discharge the duties
discharge the duties
of the office
of the
Provost Marshal General
of the Provost Marshal General
of the United States Army.
of the United States Army.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. Well done.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the posting of the colors.
Command!
Forward, march.
Please be seated.
Parade! Hit!
Ladies and gentlemen, the Vice Chief of Staff of the Army, General James McConville.
Well, good afternoon. And don't these troops just look wonderful out here? How about a hand for our troops? General and Mrs. Vide, Mrs. Page Kellogg, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, friends, families, and soldiers of the United States Army Criminal Investigation Command, and a special welcome to the families of Major General Dave Glaser and the family of Major General Kevin Vereen. It's very, very special that you're all here for this important event. Today is a special day for this community and the Army. It's a special day because we celebrate the great achievements of this organization under the terrific leadership of Major General Dave Glaser and Susan. And we welcome a super team coming in to replace them, Major General Kevin and Monica Vereen. We are very, very fortunate to have their leadership in the Army. People in the Army are our greatest strength and our most important weapon system. And when I say people, I mean our soldiers from all three components. I mean our civilians, I mean our families, I mean our retirees, and I mean our veterans. And today, for this organization, I'm going to add another group to people, our military working dogs. I think we have one right over there, so how about a hand for our military working dogs? They really do great things for our soldiers at home and on the battlefield. The people of the CID Command, under the outstanding leadership of Dave Glaser, are the ones that have done an incredible job around the world. They have one of the toughest jobs, assuring our soldiers and families are protected and hold those who bring discredit to the Army accountable. They know that winning matters in this business, and they are a winning organization. Their expertise and professionalism has contributed significantly to the high standard of criminal investigation, protective service operations, criminal and police intelligence agents, and full-spectrum forensics support. The leaders and soldiers that we see on the field today are only a fraction of the CID force, and they represent the CID units that are currently deployed and stationed overseas who are doing tremendous work for our nation. They represent the soldiers who are currently conducting detailed criminal investigation, executing high-risk protective operations for our most senior leaders in the military, and performing all the critical activities that go into the safety of our bases and protection of our force. I'd like to quickly highlight some of the units on the field today. The 3rd MP Group adeptly covers Germany and the eastern region of the United States and has conducted 4 deployments as Task Force Justice supporting CENTCOM. The 6th Military Police Group masterfully covers the western United States, Hawaii, and Alaska. The 701st MP Group out of Quantico, Virginia, provides our Field Investigative Unit, our Major Procurement Fraud Unit, our Computer Crime Investigative Unit, our Terrorism and Criminal Investigative Unit, and our Protective Services Battalion. These specialized units have been operating worldwide across the range of threats that impact the Department of Defense and the Army and have made a significant difference at the strategic level. The 15th Military Police Brigade from Fort Leavenworth represents the Army Corrections Command, which oversees 5 Army correctional facilities worldwide, with custody of over 1,200 prisoners maintained by our military police professionals. And our 289th Military Company, the Old Guard, represents all of our military police units that are serving worldwide, and I add they do that extremely well. The 947th Military Police Working Dog Detachment is also here representing all of our military dogs, and their handlers are serving across the force. Leaders and soldiers, thank you for your high standards of excellence and your untiring dedication to the safety and integrity of our Army. I am proud to serve with each and every one of you. Dave and Susan Glaser, thank you for your committed and passionate leadership of the CID force, along with being an outstanding Provost Marshal. You have an incredible portfolio across the entire globe, and I don't think anyone could do it better than you've done it over the last 2 years. Marie and I wish you the very best in your next rendezvous with destiny as the Deputy Commanding General of Army North in San Antonio, Texas, where we know you all excel, and get ready for the hurricanes. They're coming soon. Kevin and Monica, congratulations on taking command. I'm proud to see you lead this premier organization to further its excellence and success. I can't think of a better team to lead this outstanding organization. You come to this command with impeccable credentials. I personally watch your efforts of bringing quality young men and women into our Army while assigned to the United States Army Recruiting Command, to include your own son. Thank you very much. It's a family business. What you have done for our Army has been exceptional. You're the right person at the right time. I look forward to serving with you. Best wishes for a successful command. And thanks to everyone that came out today to observe this. We remain Army strong.
Ladies and gentlemen, Major General David Glaser.
General McConville, General Vi, Mr. Kellogg, Honorable Wardinsky, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, family, friends, and most importantly, the policing professionals who assist, protect, and defend our Army, thank you for joining us today. First off, I want to thank General McConville and the rest of the Army senior leadership for giving me the opportunity to command the DoD's premier criminal investigative organization and to lead the Army's security and policing efforts as the Provost Marshal General over the past 2 years. Susan and I are truly grateful. To the members of the United States Army Band, Pershing His Own, and the Old Guard Fife and Drum Corps, thank you for your support to this ceremony. You look and sound magnificent. Your music makes us stand a little taller, makes us sit a little straighter, and feel a little prouder. Thank you. I also like the part about Patton's March, being an old Third Army guy. I also want to thank Chaplain Drew Turner for your words of inspiration and support, and to all my friends, interagency and multinational policing partners, including the Provost Marshal of Canada, who has joined us today, my headquarters Department of the Army teammates, and military police professionals, both serving and retired. Thank you for your mentoring, your partnering, and your collaboration these past 2 years. You know, to my dad, my brother Mike, Sam Anderson, Mike King, Larry Allen, Rodney Morris, Kevin Moffitt, and others that I know I've missed, thank you for attending from Ohio, Florida, Georgia, Louisiana, and Kansas. Like my dad, who was amazed that I made it through high school, several of you are still surprised I made it past captain. To my wife, Susan, and my children, Callie, Abby, Luke, and Caleb, I love being a soldier and a military policeman and all that it stands for. But I love being a husband and a father even more. It hadn't been easy, but at every turn you supported me, you strengthened me, You pulled me forward and you shielded me, which allowed me to focus on the mission. I love you all. Texas, here we come. Again, my heartfelt thanks to all of you, both present and watching on live stream, those who sent both written communications and all those that are looking down from heaven, for sharing your values, acting as a sounding board, and for supporting my soldiers, my family, and me. To my command teams, the directors, the deputies, the chiefs of staff, the XOs, and the sergeant majors. Man, it's been a fun ride. You know it was fun because it went way too quick. I sincerely appreciate your loyalty, the vigorous discussions, the focus on the big rocks, your love of all things military police history, and for achieving every mission that we were assigned. Our activities and commands have set a high mark in investigative excellence for innovation, capacity building, and defense in depth, all focused on improving Army readiness, modernization, and taking care of soldiers, our Department of the Army civilians, and our families. If you would indulge me, I'd like to highlight just a few examples. So just over 2 years ago, CID Special Agent strength was hovering around 70% and trending down. But by working with Recruiting Command, the Army G1, Headquarters Department of the Army Manpower and Reserve Affairs, and all the leaders before you, we created new incentives and accession programs which allowed CID to surpass 90% agent strength for the first time in a decade. That's partnership. In military working dogs, represented by the young PFC down here and her military working dog, we were black for readiness and trending downward due to production issues and an aging pool of dogs. But through partnership with Headquarters Department of the Army G3, the Air Staff Operations, and the Chief of Air Force Security Forces, the program was overhauled and realigned. And in 2 years, we have gone from black to the all-time high for military working dog readiness achieved this past May. And in Career Program 19, our civilians who serve as Army security and law enforcement professionals. It took us too long to hire. Our pay was not competitive, and there was no career ladders. And then commanders didn't have the flexibility at the different installations to get after each and every one of those problems. But again, by working with Manpower and Reserve Affairs, the Manpower Modeling Agencies, and commanders at each installation, we now have working solutions to all of these challenges with the Secretary of the Army as an advocate. And finally, in the area of biometrics and forensics, we were in dilapidated facilities or trailers, but with the help of the Vice Chief of Staff of the Army, Cyber Command, MNRA, AXIM, IMCOM, and the FBI, we have co-located our store match share database and on a secure FBI compound, and we have approved construction for our facilities in Georgia, which support global forensic exploitation. I could highlight many, many more under the command of each of the professionals you see represented in the formations before you. But their accomplishments have focused on readiness, innovation, and modernization. And it all started with taking care of soldiers, civilians, and families. And because they did so, we were able to tap their potential, which resulted in increased readiness to deter our adversary, and as General McConville said earlier, to fight, to win where we fight. So we could not have done it without our Headquarters Department of the Army staff, the sister services, and the interagency. So thank you all again for being here today. I know you will give our current Provost Marshal General, Major General Kevin Vereen, the same support you have given me. Kevin and his wife Monica joined us from Army Recruiting Command, where he took on very complex tasks, but he was purpose-built to be the Provost Marshal General. He's the former Commandant of the Military Police School, the Provost Marshal of our Forces Command, a combat veteran, and a friend of over 25 years. Kevin's unique background and perspective will serve Criminal Investigation Command and the Provost Marshal General well, taking it to new heights under his leadership. Kevin and Monica, Susan and I wish you all the best in your tour. General McConville, thank you for the opportunity to serve not only as the PMG, but to continue serving with 5th United States Army. And to my friends and family, thank you again for the support that you provided Susan and I. And finally, and as I started, to the exceptional professionals who make up the Military Police Corps, it has been a true privilege and an honor, and I look forward to following your continued success in the years ahead. Assist, protect, defend, PMG 16, out.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Provost Marshal General of the Army and the Commanding General of the United States Army Criminal Investigation Command, Major General Kevin Vereen.
General McConville, General Vi, thank you for attending and officiating the ceremony today. I'm excited and ready to work on those duties and responsibilities I have as the Provost Marshal General and the Commanding General for U.S. Criminal Investigations Command. We will strive to be the gold standard for all things policing, for the Department of Defense, federal, international, state, local law enforcement agencies. We will continue to collaborate and share best practices across the spectrum of our functions. Our team understands our Army's priorities, and we will continue to ensure that we are invested in the readiness, modernization, and reform efforts that help build and sustain the premier land combat force, our United States Army. General Glaser, thank you and your family for all the assistance in helping Monica and me as we made that move from Fort Knox, Kentucky. I'm honored to be taking the helm from a leader who I've served with and known for over 25 years. Monica and I wish you and your family all the best as you assume responsibilities in Texas. To my family, my mom, my brothers, my brother-in-laws, my father-in-law, my relatives, my mother-in-law, who all travel from all parts of the United States, thank you for your support and continued prayers. You don't know how good it makes me feel to have you all here today. To my lifelong friends in high school, my college classmates, my comrades in arms, thank you for attending. To my children, my wife, Monica, I love you. Monica, I always say it's going to be fun. And yes, it always is. So let's enjoy the ride together. May God bless each and every one of you, and may God bless the United States of America. Hua.
Ladies and gentlemen, please stand for the singing of the Military Police Regimental March and the Army Song.
Commanders, take charge of your units.
Ladies and gentlemen, this concludes today's ceremony. Major General and Mrs. Glaser will receive well-wishers to the right of the reviewing stand. Please join Major General and Mrs. Vereen for a reception at the Community Activity Center, Building 405. Thank you all for attending today's ceremony.